Welcome to Straight Talk on Motorsports, featuring business side, personal profiles of the people that move and shake the world of motorsports. Featuring Ride of the Week with the secrets of driving the most exotic machines on the planet. It's Straight Talk, the fastest half hour in motorsports. Visors down, get ready, it's Straight Talk. This is Straight Talk on Motorsports. This is the business side of our show. Today we're the guest of Bernie Little, Mr. Unlimited. That's Unlimited Hydroplanes. We're in Lakeland, Florida, one of the largest Budweiser distributors in the country. Bernie, thanks for having us. Welcome to Straight Talk on Motorsports.
Well, we're glad you're here, and we're glad to be involved in your show.
Well, I appreciate you being here. Bernie actually personifies a work ethic. You started your work career throwing papers.
Yes, I did. I had 2 morning paper routes, so one at 4 in the morning and one at 5 at night. And what it did for me, it taught me a lot. And the main thing it did for me, it taught me how to sleep in school. And so I never really accomplished too much in school because I was too busy sleeping to get up to do my paper route. But I did succeed in getting through the 8th grade. And then I decided that I was smarter than the teachers, and it didn't take me long to find out I was wrong that way. And I'll tell you today you really need that education. One thing we thrive on is trying to help young people to get that education.
Well, Bernie, you went on to a career in the Navy. I understand you were a boatswain mate over there.
Yeah, that's when I didn't go very far in school. I went in the Merchant Marines for a short period. I had asthma. I was born and raised with it, and they shipped me to Sheepshead Bay in New York. And I couldn't breathe all the time I was up there, so they gave me a discharge out of there. And my father was on the draft board, so he helped me get into the Navy. So I went in the Navy, and I guess in about 1944, and I did a quick training session, got aboard ship, and headed out and made a couple invasions, and wound up in Okinawa. And our ship got a hit at midnight, put a hole in us 20 by 40, and there was a very few of us survived that. And but anyhow, we salvaged the ship, and I wanted to get out of the Navy, and the only way you're going to do that is I volunteered. The war was over, and here I'm sitting there with all these people at so many points ahead of me. I figured I'd never get out of the Navy. Well, what happened, I volunteered to do mine sweeping and in the inland sea of Japan, and we would we'd run our ship that was all patched up back and forth wide open, and the mines are supposed to come up behind you. But we lost about 4 or 5 ships out of 11. They come up and got us, but they'd always get us on the fantail. And I was in an 8 crate platforms all around me, and football helmets, and wrapped in mattresses, and way up on the top deck. And that's where I run the helm from. And but at least after 30 days, I didn't get any relief. And finally, after 60 days, I did get a volunteered, and I got out of the Navy. That was a happy day.
I had one of those days myself when I got out of the Navy.
Yeah,
I remember
right.
it really well. And ever on a search for opportunity, you since went after the Navy in selling cars, and that brought about Little's auto deal.
Yeah, I did. I came home, and my wife had saved all the money that the military had sent her $50 a month, and then she worked and had a nice income, and she come home and she bought us a nice brand new car. And I said, boy, with the shortage of cars in California, we could take this to California and make a lot of money. And we did. I made $1,000, and I spent the $1,000 playing around out there and flying home. But I bought another one and took it back to California and made another $1,000 on that. Came home and said, I'm going to go into car business. And so I did, and we stayed in it quite a while. And it was quite successful, and that's how I wound up here. I went to Miami, went to work at a company called J.D. Ball Ford, and in 5 months I was promoted out of 35 people to management. And so they asked me to go to Texas. It was called Hall Dobbs owned the operation, and they sent me to Texas to try to help that dealership. And I got a call from a friend of mine. He took me here to Tampa, and he bought a Chrysler Plymouth dealership, and he said, we just split that deal. I said, that's a good deal, let's do it. And we did. And about 4 or 5 months, he died of cancer. And another 2 months, and his wife died. And so they sold everything out, so that's how I wound up in Tampa, Florida. And then about 4 years ago, I become a Budweiser distributor. August Bush the third came to rent an airplane from me, and out at Peter O. Knight Airport, after I went out of the car business, I went in the aviation business, and I leased the airport in Tampa, and I leased the one in St. Petersburg, so I really went big time in aviation. And
I understand you were an aircraft dealer, and at one time you had 50 or 60 aircraft
yes, I did. I had a very large inventory. We bought and sold a lot of airplanes.
In 1961 or 62, you got together with the Tempo and went Gold Cup racing.
Yes, I bought that boat. Guy Lombardo was making a movie, Route 66, and I saw a picture in the paper. I called him up, said, can I come over and take a ride in that boat? I happen to know him very well. He said, sure, come over and have lunch. So I got in my helicopter and went over to Port of Call and took a ride in the boat, and it was awesome, so I had to have it, and I bought it within 2 hours' time of riding in it. And I had it sitting at the hangar, and August Bush came out, and you know they have Busch Gardens there in Tampa, so he looked at it and said, what is this? And I told him, you want to take a ride? Yeah, I'd love to take a ride. So it took him and a couple vice presidents up and down the waterway there. And I said, why don't you sponsor it? And that was the beginning of a sponsorship that has still continued, and a very good relationship. And we just finished our season with our 15th World Championship, and we like that a lot.
Well, this is Straight Talk on Motorsports, the business side of our show, and when we come back, Bernie's going to tell us about the particulars of a transition they made, and that was from piston power to turbine power. We'll be right back.